host, Beth Ann.
And I welcome you today to CSC Talk Radio. It's my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here with you today. Today is show number 2001. Not that I'm counting or anything, but you know that I am. I am counting. 2001, and this is New Year's Eve. So today is the last day of 2018. Tonight, many will stay up late, watch a ball drop, have a dance, raise a toast, and watch the clock turn 12:01/2019. As many or more who celebrate will take this day with the usual routine to bed after the 10 o'clock news and up at 7 for their bowl of cereal on New Year's Day. Whatever you do today or tonight, the big question is, what will you do different tomorrow in 2019? We make those promises and we break those promises, but let's not think about ourselves. Let's think about our nation. It was December that George Washington led the troops across the Delaware River. They surprised the hired Haitian army in Trenton, New Jersey. And that morning, on December 26th, 1776, the battle was instrumental in your today. Your today felt freedoms, but we have become lazy and complacent in our so-called independence. We constantly ask or want from the government. And when that is our attitude, there is no personal independence. Will you be the storm in 2019? We talked about the storm last Friday. Will you be the storm that will be willing to speak out? Will you be the storm that is willing to make phone calls, perhaps to join a million man or woman march to D.C., as Ed had suggested and we talked about last week? Are you willing to tighten the belt at home for freedom in the future? Or is life just too much fun today to worry about tomorrow? Socialism is not just a lesson in the history books anymore. Today it is quite real in the once free and independent U.S. of A. Socialism is no longer a parlor game of academics, but a political alternative taken seriously by millennials. They don't recognize that much of what they enjoy in life is a result of capitalism and independence, and would disappear if socialism were to be implemented. This is the reality of socialism, a pseudo-religion grounded in pseudo-science and enforced by political tyranny. Think about that. Now, those are quotes out of a new article, which is very lengthy, from the Heritage Foundation talking about socialism in the United States. If we allow this path to continue in America, the ball will drop all right, as well as everything else, and we will soon be a mirror of Venezuela. Now you're thinking, Beth, that's going a little too far. Well, is it? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez might be in love with socialism, and Nancy Plastic Pelosi is in love with her wealth and power. She and most of Congress could care less what happens to you, the average American. They could care less what happens to the bureaucratic workers who are now late receiving their paychecks, and they couldn't care less about our military or those unfortunate illegal aliens crossing our borders. They simply do not care. Because if they did care, they would do something. But they don't. And the hate for Donald Trump, the derangement syndrome, is about hating you. It's about hating our way of government, our Constitution, our independence that once was. You, the American citizen, is who they hate, but yet without you, they could not exist. You, the hardworking taxpayer, whose purse the House manages, or should we say mismanages. So, the future of 2019 for this nation is not looking so good. The government is fat, the Congress is corrupt, and you are the only ones who can back up the truck. You are the storm that needs to blow through D.C. and clean the air, refresh your freedoms, confirm your Constitution, and declare your independence once again. In 2019, I challenge you to be the storm. I asked last week, more than once, I think, on shows last week, who is the enemy? Well, this was going out on Twitter this week and this weekend, and it was quite interesting. This is coming out of the broadcasting false content during news programs, and this is coming from an FCC law, rules, regulations, whatever the case may be. And this is a quote from it. The FCC is prohibited by law from engaging in censorship or infringing on First Amendment rights of the press. It is, however, illegal for broadcasters to intentionally distort the news, and the FCC may act on complaints if there is documented evidence of such behavior from persons with direct personal knowledge. For more information, please see your consumer guide, Complaints About Broadcast Journalism. If you, the people, would be the storm and start making the complaints, whoever your broadcaster is that you're listening to, if they are intentionally telling you the wrong stories, perhaps we could bring integrity back. The saying, all is fair in love and war, apparently, since there is no love in the media, this must be war. They no longer, if they ever did, feel the need to follow the laws or the regulations or cave to such a thing called integrity. False content, fake news, or distorted the facts. We've seen this. We know that they do it. We know that our government does the same thing. The Congress, the presidents. But when the media is doing it, they're supposed to be your ears, your voice. They're supposed to be telling you what Congress is doing, what the president is doing. So when they're saying that the president's done this or hasn't done that, and it's fake, it's false, just like when they intentionally said Melania had left the White House when she'd had her surgery, and they knew darn good and well she was right there because they saw her. She was walking around in the White House. But that's not what they reported. And what kind of news is that? That's not really news that you need. I mean, it's not legislative. It's not going to affect your life, but it does distort the character of this White House. So we have a government shutdown. Who stayed home and who went on vacation? Who stayed at work visiting the troops abroad? And who went on vacation? Who's working for you? Who is the enemy? Anybody that lies to you, intentionally lies to you, is the enemy. And that could go to the White House, and that can go through Congress, and that can go through the media, whether it's Fox or whether it's MSNBC, CBS, mainstream media, whoever they are, CNN. If they're lying to you, there's a reason. And yes, they're the enemy to freedom and independence. They're the enemy to we the people. They don't want you to know the truth, and there's some reason for them not to want you to know the truth. But the FCC rules are pretty strong there. But who's going to report them? Be the storm. 877-895-5410 is the number to call, and we will be storming right back.